Hello and welcome to Donington Park. You join us here for our first run-in in the BMW 116 Trophy Cup, and as you can see, it's a bit grey, it's a bit overcast, and it's definitely windy. There's definitely a breeze in the air. We're expecting some rain later on, and probably during the race. So we've got qualifying at 20 past 12, hopefully dry for that. And then the race doesn't start until 5 PM, and it's a 90-minute race from 6 o'clock. It's supposed to be a little bit wet, so we'll have to see how fun that is. Obviously, in the wet, the car has less grip, more likely to skid off, and obviously if you're in a pack and somebody has a bit of a moment, then there can be a bit of a concertina effect. So hopefully a clean race, hopefully a dry race, but if not, clean is what we're hoping for. I feel like I've just cursed. But yeah, it's good. So next step is qualifying and then a race at 5 o'clock. So you finally joined me on board, and apologies off the bat for lack of audio. I think there was a small technical issue with the camera, and it didn't work during the race either. So we got a little bit of the qualifying run, and it gives me a good opportunity just to talk all over it anyway. So this is my outlap. I'm not pushing it. I'm not going at race speed. But as you will notice, the track is damp, and you will see bits of rain on the windshield and on the side window. And I'm literally just out feeling my way around. I could tell that the tyres weren't up to temperature. We'd had a great session on Wednesday in the test day, going around here in nice weather, and the car felt very nimble and agile. And in fact, I was actually in one of the other cars and had a quick run out in this on the Wednesday and noticed that it was quite a bit looser on the rear end and a bit of understeer as well. But we went out in the wet. Johnny and Liam had already done their runs, and as we're coming up to this blind right-hander, third or fourth, let's try fourth, and oh no! So yeah, great surprise. Into first, try to get away, it's just not having it. But hats off to the Orange Army. They pulled me backwards out of the gravel trap. I got to wave to my rear bumper, which was sat in there. And then, yeah, at the end of the session, which was only about 5 minutes to go, they let me drive back. And I thought I'd leave this clip in, show you the unsexy side of motor racing, of drivers returning to the garage with their damaged car round the back of a gravel trap. So yeah, surprisingly large amount of damage. I was doing about 80 miles an hour as I went through the corner, and I was probably still doing about 65 when I hit the gravel sideways. Ripped off the rear bumper, damaged the front bumper, headlight hanging in by literally one screw. And yeah, quite a bit of noise coming down here. The session had finished, and I just decided to take it nice and steady, chuck off as many stones as I could, and yeah, get it back to the pits, which you will see now. So yeah, through the chicane at snail's pace, and yeah, literally just wanted to get the car back. Very disappointed in myself. Drop it on the outlap. What a noob. But yeah, I mean, you've got to try these things. If you bring the car back in one piece every time, the mechanics aren't happy. They like something to do. And you can see the mechanics queuing at the end of the pit lane. I actually slow down to let them have a look at the front bumper, which obviously I hadn't seen at this point. And hats off to them. They did a great job of repairing the car. They had it all ready and looking really new, ready for the race at 5 o'clock, which I started. And didn't spin during the race. And yeah, I was a bit nervous and wanted to make sure I brought the car home ready for Johnny and Liam to have their go. And yeah, surprisingly, they didn't weigh me at Parc Ferme. They said I was missing body parts and I was full of gravel. Yeah, there's a picture of the front of the car, and as you can see, the guys are working, and you see the rear of the car without the bumper. Surprisingly large amount of stones in there. But yeah, good job from the team.
Brakes, but they can choose their own pads. 5-speed transmission, and they run on Nankang tyres, and they're very affordable in their own right at just £260 a set. So they're pretty hard wearing as well. So a good race in prospect. Josh, no doubt strategy will come into play.
Absolutely. We could actually say 2 pit stops, but that can take part over an hour period, can't it? 15 minutes to 75 minutes. And if safety cars come into play, that's usually a good time for people to pit. Well, that kind of ruins the flow of the race, but if you want to win a race, that's usually a good strategy. So we've got Tom Mills and Paul Abraham out there. They're a couple of Fun Cup racers. So getting their endurance racing in a different way here with the 116 trophy.
But the red lights are on then, and for 90 minutes we get underway, and it's a good start by Sam Carrington. Gets from the second row of the grid already. He's going through on the inside of Alan Caulfield, but also from the outside of the front row. Tim Crichton gets a decent start too. So it's Sam Carrington Yates and Tim Crichton going wheel to wheel then as they head up into the first corner. But Carrington Yates looks like he's got the move done.
Yes, it was an awful start really with the pole man, wasn't it? Alan Caulfield has done a lot of these races, so should be used to it as they turn their way through Redgate okay, I think, onto the Craner Curve. But yeah, Caulfield lost, what, half dozen places, something like that at the start of the race. The top two are going
416 trophy series,
and Caulfield has the fastest lap, a 1:31.42, which is only about a second and a half off of qualifying pace, so track conditions look okay at the moment. The Lewis Tindall Dick Carvel qualified 8th. He's going to couple with Liam Carvel, he's up to drop 7th. Then Bob Sibley, he qualified 11th, he's up to 8th. Then Mark Burton 9th, moved over to BMW's racing, which I suspect is a bit more affordable. And he's right now in 7th position. Mark Burton, so he's at 6th now, chasing Ian Carvel, then there's a Atkinson there before the next one. So Burton can get past Ian Carvel, interesting to see what speed he has in this. That battle, is it? Heading up to McLean's, and that Burton on the inside going for a move on Ian Carvel, couldn't quite make it though. So they'll have to try and get in a bit, but the leaders come out of Coppin.
The 232 car with different pitches.
The treble 7 car of Sam Carrington has got ahead of Ian Carvel, although Ian Carvel had with that 10-second penalty anyway, so it doesn't really make any difference. Will Ian Carvel finish third? I suspect he will, because it's a long gap back to the next car through, which should be the Ford and Brighton car. It is heading towards us now.
Hello and welcome back. You join us. We're sheltering in the car because of the rain, post-race. I did the first stint, brought it in, and yeah, we brought it in 25th. So made up a couple of places. I did a great overtake into Redgate, which is turn 1. Basically the cars, I was catching them at the chicane for 2 laps, and then I thought, right, I'm hovering you. And I got a great run through the chicane and just kept it down the outside, late braked into turn 1, and we got a little bit close towards the apex, and I nailed him and got past him. Kept him behind me for 2 laps, and both times he was getting his nose right on the inside of me as we were coming through copse. And yeah, on the last time I was just a bit too hesitant, watching the mirrors a bit too much, and he got the rundown on me. For our second stint, Johnny took it out, and then bless him, after about 15 minutes the safety car come out, because cars were sliding off. The track was getting wetter and wetter, more slippy as the race was going on. So there's a safety car. He come in having done 17 minutes of his 30-minute stint. Bless him, really took one for the team there, which meant that yeah, Liam just had a really long stint at the end, and bless him, the weather just got worse and worse. The track was far more slippier, and yeah, hats off to him, because I wouldn't want to have been out there in that. We were a solid 25th. There was about 23 seconds gap in front of us, about 20 seconds behind, so he was doing a great job. And yeah, last lap, and he just he kind of got into the gravel a little bit. So I'm not sure exactly where we finished altogether, but do you know what? I think we've all had fun. Tons of experience, tons of learning, a bit of close racing, both sides, and yeah, absolute fun. So thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. This has been Rocc.Racing. I'm Jim Allen.